If I'm being honest, A.G. Riddle as an author is one of the reasons that I have this booktube channel today. When I decided to continue my reading journey as an adult, A.G. Riddle's book Pandemic and then the sequel Genome were huge books for me. I sucked down those huge puppy like a freaking thirsty man in a desert or something. Riddle's ability to craft science fiction thriller stories in a way that leaves you on the edge of your seat while also presenting you with characters that you really like, it's super unique in all of the books that I read. Riddle is able to craft gripping books like a Blake Crouch book, but they're a lot more on the PG scale as far as explicit content, and also he's a lot better at making characters that are less obnoxious than the typical Blake Crouch protagonist. I love Blake Crouch books, by the way. But Riddle is able to create characters that you really love and you want to be friends with, and you want to see them succeed, all of them usually. Lost in Time is no exception. It's a science fiction thriller with really good characters. It starts off with a bang, crazy stuff starts happening, and as you can tell from the title, there's time travel. And also this book incorporates parallel universes. And the plot for this one, it's a lot. If you've read most of A.G. Riddle's books like I have, it very much follows a similar tone and pace. And if you've read a lot of science fiction thrillers, you might be able to predict pieces of the plot earlier than maybe you should. That's not to say the book is unoriginal, it's just to say that it does follow a lot of similar paths from stories that I've experienced before. The way that Riddle presents them, however, is still a ton of fun. Still had me binging the book, and it broke my brain. It still broke my brain. I'm still thinking about Lost in Time, even weeks after I finished it. One of my favorite things about A.G. Riddle books is that while they're not technically noble bright, a lot of dark and sad things happen in them. He usually doesn't dwell too much on the grim, dark, evil, darkness, everything is cynical side of humanity for the most part, and the characters that you're following you really want to root for. And this is the case in this book, where you are presented with a world where a character's been set back in time, and then the other characters are dealing with stuff in the future, and there's a lot of mystery of the entire inciting incident was a murder, and the main character is blamed for that murder, and we have to figure out what the frick went down. As we're exploring those elements, we start to suspect every one of the characters, and all of them seem to have ulterior motives or things that they're hiding. And over the course of the book, we figure out more of the science, and we figure out more of what the characters might be hiding and whether or not that's good or bad. While pieces of the plot are familiar, the way that they're incorporated together is a pretty unique take on everything. But my biggest confusing thing about this book, and maybe that's a challenge for the author, or maybe that's a challenge for other people that might read this book, is it deals with time travel and parallel universes in a way that ultimately completely destroyed my brain. If I'm thinking about this book from a pure, I'm just reading this as a popcorn thing, if this was a movie perspective, I enjoyed it, and if I just let it happen, I loved it. But the more that I think about the way that he incorporated time travel into this story, the more I can't tell if it doesn't make sense and it's inconsistent, which is often a criticism of time travel stories, or if I just can't fathom the way that it worked. Because even though I think Riddle tried really hard to explain the way that his time travel system worked and the way that it made sense in the world given the rules that we had, I never really got it. I got what the characters were saying, but it went so far over my head that if I ever stopped to think about it for 2 seconds, none of it actually made any sense. But the fact that I didn't care when I was reading the book is maybe to the book's strength, or maybe it's a book's weakness that I could never understand what was really going on or if it made sense, or mostly what I would care about if it was actually consistent with the rules that it presented ahead of time, which I can't decide to this day. But if you're the type of person that loves a crazy time travel story and you love to try to pick at the intricacies of if that makes any sense or not, this is probably an excellent book for you. If you've ever checked out an A.G. Riddle book before, you'll probably love this one too. I enjoyed it greatly. I love A.G. Riddle books. If you're looking for a crazy science fiction time travel story, you should definitely check it out. It's a very quick read. The plot is moving fast all the time. And once again, I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to say more people should read A.G. Riddle. He's a very good author. He writes excellent books that really stick with you. All of his books stick in my head. I love this one, and it was a ton of fun. If you've read this book, could you let me know in the comments down below if it made sense to you, the time travel rules, based on what you understood from the book? Because I really need to know if I'm the one who's dumb here. If you thought this one sounded interesting, also let me know in the comments down below, please. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, you'll get notified every time I post a new video talking about the awesome books that I love reading, or maybe some that I don't know. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in another video again soon. Till next time, be excellent to each other.
no one ever get enough. Always looking out, tired, sleep, no one ever get enough. If I don't show up, I might get fired. Sleep, no one ever get enough. Always looking out, tired, sleep, no one ever get enough. If I don't show up, I might get fired.